Welcome to the Main Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Jordan Main, president of Main Financial Group, as well as joined by Adam Freund, CRC at Main Financial Group. And to our viewers at home in the Detroit metro area, thank you so much for spending time with us each and every week. We're going to talk today about something that's very important. What are you retiring to? And think about that for just a moment. If you're focused on retirement, are you looking at just an account number? Well, what about purpose? How can you retire with purpose and build a life that you're going to enjoy? That's what today's show is all about. Thank you for being with us. Jordan, how are you?
I am happy to be here, and this is such an important topic we have here today.
It is.
How are you today?
Fantastic. Thank you. And I love this topic as well. Adam, how are you?
I am doing super-de-duper.
Okay.
And I'm rolling up my sleeves today, folks, because we got a lot to cover.
Oh,
yes.
boy, here we go.
Yes, we totally have a lot to cover. And here's why. Viewers at home, when you think about it, you're working, and you're building a nest egg, and you've got savings, you've got a number. But when you have that date circled on the calendar and you have an idea of when you want to retire, but do you know what you're going to do next? Think about that. Your identity is tied to work a lot of times. People ask you, what do you do? What do you do? And all of a sudden that goes away. So how do you build a life that you will enjoy, one that gives you purpose? And that's why it really is a very important topic that we need to cover. And I'm glad that we're choosing to do this. It's not always about finances.
No.
It's about the emotional aspect of truly what comes next.
Yeah.
Right. And I think when people start to look at that, there's a difference of needs and wants. And the idea of what is the money, the value. I have $1 million, I have $2 million, I have $3 million.
It's just a number.
It's just a number. It's really meaningless to say, well, what the income is going to provide you a lifestyle. What is the income that will provide the lifestyle that you want, right? And I know we've talked in other episodes about this, but we have some clients that bring in, let's say, about $80,000 a year in their income plan, and they are able to accomplish all of their goals. They're traveling, they see their grandkids, and they live their life of dreams. We then have another set of clients that bring in nearly $300,000 of income, and they're broke every month and need to take out more money. They didn't construct a plan. They weren't realistic with what their retirement was going to be. And I don't think they really had a vision for retirement. Hey, we'll try to buy a boat. And then what happens with a boat? The two happiest
days of your life is when you buy the boat and when you sell the boat.
Right, and you rarely make money on a boat purchase, right? And so they don't have a vision behind what they're trying to do. They're just going through, oh, maybe I'll become a golfer, maybe I'll become a pickleball player. And what we know for sure, or at least you and I have talked about this, is that life always comes at us.
Right.
Yes.
It comes at us in different ways, good ways and bad ways.
That's correct.
Great windfalls of money, inheritances, win the lottery, bad situations, health situations, divorces, things that come about. So have we really put a vision together with what we want to do in retirement?
And it's not just that, but it's also having a plan that can zig when life throws you zags and stuff like that.
Yes.
You have to be able to maneuver things
very
around.
few streets or roads are straight.
That's
You're
true.
right.
That's
Yes.
very true.
They're winding, and you have to have a plan that's going to absorb or deflect things that come at you in different ways.
That's true. That's true. Well, if you retire without a purpose, I'm assuming that leaves someone feeling lost and depressed.
Yeah.
Have you had that person come into the office where they're just like, I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of my 20 plus years in retirement?
So what we see a lot is people coming in and in that situation that you just described, they're essentially lost. Okay, I'm supposed to retire, right? Not that I want to retire, I'm supposed to retire. So in situations like that, we have to have a serious talk about, okay, well, maybe they do have their income covered. Maybe they have.
Right. Well, I think a lot of it is, I don't mean to interrupt you, but is the fear.
Yeah.
I don't have enough money. I've been taught so much that I need to save. I don't know how to spend. I don't know if I don't want to make the wrong move.
Right.
Which bucket do I take money out of? When do I turn on Social Security? If I have a pension, which option do I elect? All of these things create a tremendous amount of fear, and then it doesn't give the clients the ability to visualize, as we're talking about today, what their retirement really looks like.
It's true.
Yeah, and people that retire, there was a recent study that was just done about people retiring early.
Yes.
Actually have more of a chance of dying sooner. That they're not activating their mind. They're not letting things happen. So as you said before, your work could be your identity, and then suddenly that identity is stripped away. Well, that can create issues. So now we've also met a lot of retirees that are busier than they were when they were working.
Yeah, so just because you retire doesn't mean that you stop, whether it be working or volunteering or doing some things. Like great friends of ours, John and Jessica, they've got a plan. He's an automotive engineer, and she's a school teacher. And when the kids are gone and they're going to have a nice early retirement in their 50s, they're going to move to Disney World.
Okay.
And he is going to drive the bus, the drive the thing and then talk to the people on the microphone. She then is going to either substitute teach or do some things here and there. And then they're adult Disney people, as we talked about this in shows past. So are you, Cynthia?
I am.
And they will now have free access to Disney. And
it's a plan, though.
It's a vision.
It's a vision, a plan, it's a dream.
And it's up to us to help produce that vision for them, right? That's what we do, folks. I mean, that's essentially what we do. We try to help people, whether you want to call it make their dreams come true. This whole idea, by the way, of owning a yacht and the private island, that's Madison Avenue.
Right.
That's Madison Avenue. Don't
then
believe
what's Park
it.
Avenue?
Well, Park Avenue is on the Monopoly board.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's true.
Here's $200. Don't pass go.
Yeah, don't pass go.
No, but the truth of the matter is that people don't want that. They want to retire in a manner of which they become accustomed.
Absolutely. You're right.
And that's what my father always said to me, by the way. The Shermanator always said, when I retire, which, by the way, he has not yet retired.
I love that.
And that's also good, too. But he says, you got to support me in a manner of which I become accustomed.
Absolutely. I can see that because people don't want to just get by in retirement. They want to thrive. They want to enjoy. I know one thing that gives peace of mind, people that have the RIPT report. Jordan, talk about the RIPT report.
Yeah.
I wish we had one around.
I know, right? I mean,
our offer today for everyone watching is to call the phone number or click the QR scan, and we're going to give you your own customized financial plan. A plan that's designed just for you. Come in for 2 meetings out of your life, and we will treat you like our client and show you the great things we can do and put together a written financial plan. We call it our RIPT report, R-I-P-T. The R is a risk assessment to make sure that you are taking on as little or as much risk as you want in your portfolio. How fast or slow are you driving it? The I is the income plan, which this show is a lot about here today. Have you developed a plan that's going to free you to be able to do your vision in retirement? Is it a plan or is it a guess? We can show you a guaranteed income plan. The P is the portfolio health. All of your stocks and bonds and mutual funds or whatever you have, what are you paying in fees? What sectors are they investing in? How are they doing historically with returns? The T in the RIP report is taxation. Have you removed Uncle Sam, or do you have a plan to remove Uncle Sam from your retirement? We can show you how to get to a tax-free retirement. We'll also throw in a copy of our book, Main Street Millionaire, How Real People Build Real Wealth and Keep It. It's a 300-page great financial planning guide full of client stories and mistakes that we've learned from with clients that you can avoid going forward. So give us a call, come see us. We'd love to show you.
Jordan, thank you so much. And Adam, thank you so much to our viewers at home. Once again, how do you get ripped? Call in and book that consultation. 888-462-7839, 888-462-7839. Or we've made it even simpler. Just grab your smartphone, open up the camera app, and simply click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That's going to be the fast track to get on the schedule of Main Financial. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're talking about building a life with purpose. Once you have a plan in place, are there any factors that could erode that plan? Well, stay tuned.
I was an accountant by trade out of school, out of Michigan State, and I absolutely hated brokers, financial advisors, whatever they wanted to call themselves. I was a tax accountant, and we would share a mutual client, and this broker would advise our mutual client to buy, sell, and never do any tax strategy, and I was left to clean up the mess. So I went to the client and said, please talk to your broker and tell him to knock this off or begin to do some strategy, and the typical broker response was,
I'm not licensed to do that. I can't talk about taxes. So I basically decided to get my investment securities license and all my other licenses out of spite so that we could do all the tax planning as part of the investment strategy for our clients. The value of choice, as we always say, if you go to a big box firm, they're going to have one of 6 portfolios, let's say, and you're going to fit into one of those. The value of working with an independent advisor, especially a fiduciary like we are, is that they have to do what's in your best interest, and they can use any program that's licensed out there in America. So a huge difference. After 20 plus years on this side of the fence, I think our industry does a poor job at explaining to the public the difference of those two. I come from a culture of helping people and educating them, not just telling them what to do. So I think people that truly want to educate make a big difference in this industry.
Welcome back to the Main Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Jordan Main and Adam Freund of Main Financial Group. We're talking about retiring with a purpose, not just retiring into nothing, but having a plan. But once you have that plan in place, are there any factors that could erode that plan? We're going to talk about that in this next segment because, gentlemen, we all know that life happens, right?
Right.
You have a plan, but then all of a sudden something can derail you, and you have to be prepared for it. So talk about some of the factors. Adam, what's the first one that can derail someone's plan?
Well, Jordan's favorite subject, taxes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There are all kinds of things here.
Yes, there are.
Like, is Social Security taxable?
Yeah, maybe.
Yes and no.
Yes
right?
and no. I was
It
gonna
can be or
say.
it cannot be. If you've done your plan, we could show you how to eliminate all taxes on Social Security. Or you can pay tax on Social Security. How about triggering unnecessary tax, meaning getting into the next tax bracket because of your RMDs?
Ooh.
Right? So what if RMDs are required distributions that you have to take out when you get into your 70s, different ages depending on the year you were born.
Yep.
73 and above. But that creates taxable income, which could bounce you up to the next tax bracket.
Wow.
Which is a snowball effect that can then drive higher Medicare taxes and other things. So there are several missteps or what we call eroding factors that could derail the plan that you've created in retirement. That's number one.
Number one, taxes. Okay.
So
Adam?
number 2?
Yeah, you're like the game show host.
I am.
I am,
Number
I
2 is healthcare.
Ooh. Okay.
Right.
And there's subsets,
Yeah, I was going to say this. One of the subsets is let's talk about Medicare.
Well,
right?
what about the pre-Medicare people
Pre-Medicare,
first?
yeah. Well, if you retire early, now have you planned on how are you going to get to age 65?
By the way, have you looked at what it's cost to buy health care for a 58, 59,
No.
60, 61-year-old?
No.
It is, well, at least in the state of Michigan, it is through the roof, right? So somebody that retires early at 58, Medicare doesn't start till 65.
Right.
That's 7 years.
And I can tell you that we've had many people coming in. And I'm retiring early. I'm going to retire at 59 and a half because they know at 59 and a half they can have access to their IRA or 401k account. And I'll say, that's great. I think that's great. We can plan for that. What about health care?
Yeah.
And they look at me, oh, geez, I totally forgot about health care.
Yes.
Right. The misconception is that if I'm fully retired, then now I get Medicare. No, it's not till 65. Well, then talk about Medicare.
Well, Medicare, the problem with Medicare is that now if you earn too much money, your Medicare can go up, right? So now you've had this whole stability thing of, okay, I'm on Medicare. This is great. I'm only paying $180 a year or whatever, a month. A year, a month. And then all of a sudden your RMDs kick in. Your required minimum distributions kick in.
Which are taking money out of your retirement accounts that trigger income.
Yep. And that then leads to higher premiums on the Medicare.
Ugly word
gosh.
called IRMA.
IRMA.
Okay.
My Aunt Irma.
Okay.
And then what's the third healthcare issue?
Long-term care?
Long-term care.
It's like a
good guess. I know. It is like a
Yeah,
game
you
show.
guys are great.
Wait a minute, it says long-term care.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I mean, what an expense that is, right, Cynthia?
Yes.
Holy
Oh my
moly!
gosh, the
In Metro
numbers.
Detroit, to get a good long-term care facility,
Yep.
it's upwards of $12,000 a month.
Right.
Wow. And that's not including memory care.
Yes.
That's very
even
expensive.
more.
Yeah. So when you say the second eroding factor is healthcare, there are three subsets of healthcare.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one thing we should also talk about, what about stock market risk? What about, when the market goes up and down, can that erode someone's plan that they put in place?
That's number three. It's almost like she knows what number.
Well, I was just kind of guessing. I mean,
No. Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, if you're in the stock market and relying only on the stock market to produce that income for you, which we do not recommend, that's all your eggs in one basket. Ugh. But if the market is down and you're taking out at the wrong time, right?
Yes.
And it doesn't even have to be down for a year. What if it's down just for that week? And you're, well, no, this is the week I get paid, right? That can really screw up a
we use the
retirement.
$100 or $100,000 number. Let's say you have 100,000, Cynthia, and you lose 30%, you're down to 70,000.
That's
and
right.
then you have to take 5% out to live on. Let's say that's your income plan or your income guess. Now we're down to 65,000.
Yep.
And let's say the market rebounds and we earn that 30% back.
Great.
Are we back to 100?
Yes.
No, we're not, Adam. I know you're not great at math, but that is we're not even back. We're not even back to 90,000.
No.
And we do that a couple years in a row. We run out of money, which is the biggest fear in retirement.
Correct.
Is running out,
out of
outliving
money.
your money.
Yes,
So that
yes.
third eroding factor, stock market volatility. If you are relying on income from the stock market alone, that is a derailment there.
Yep.
Can push you off the track.
wow. So all of these things can actually erode someone's plan. But Adam, what's number 4? I don't want to take
that's
away.
okay. No, longevity, as Jordan is very famous of saying, what if you screw up and live too long? We used to, do you remember this? We used to plan for early death.
That's right.
We used to plan always for early death. What if the breadwinner dies too early, right?
Right.
Now we're having to plan for a 20, 25, 30, 35-year retirement.
And some people that retire at 50 might make 100. That's a 50-year retirement plan for income. So there's a big difference, and we've talked a lot in other shows about this, of an income plan versus an income guess. Do you have guaranteed income? What's guaranteed income? Well, Social Security, they say it's guaranteed.
Yep.
Pension is guaranteed.
Yeah.
All annuities are contracts that are guaranteed to pay you for the rest of your life. What sources of guaranteed income that you can't outlive do you have? CDs have an end date, right?
Yep.
So then when interest rates are changing, when that matures, you have risk there.
Yep.
Bonds have an end date, right? You buy a
they
bond
do.
from General Motors, there's a rate of return and a time.
Not only that, they have a clause in there where they can actually buy the bond back.
Call them. They're called
Calls.
callable. That's right.
right.
So creating an income plan that you cannot not outlive can offset that. And I know we're jumping ahead into solutions, but ultimately longevity and income can be an eroding factor, which is strange to think about.
Wow. And also, we should talk about this before the next commercial break. What about inflation? Prices are going up on everything.
Yeah.
That can erode a plan.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
Look at the last decade. My mom, before COVID, a retired school teacher living on a pension and Social Security, $60,000 a year for a widow was a great living, at least in Michigan.
Yes.
Right? Now, $60,000 in Michigan after the last 6, 7, 8 years run up of COVID.
Yep.
Holy moly, nowhere near. So you have to look at ways to offset inflation. And I think in the next segment, we're going to go through some solutions.
Most definitely. Well, it's time for us to get ripped. Jordan, what do you think? Do you want to talk about the RIP report or do you want me to?
How about you do this one? I'll do the next one.
Okay, that sounds great. To our viewers at home, there's a number for you to call on your screen. That number is 888-462-7839. What you're calling in for today is the consultation to have your very own customized ripped report done for you. This will be a 2-part meeting. Let the gentleman get to know you one-on-one, your goals, your dreams, and your hopes for retirement. You deserve to have a plan in place. You deserve to have the RIP report. And even better, I do want to mention you'll also get a copy of Jordan's book, The Main Street Millionaire. Nothing to lose and everything to gain by making that call today. 888-462-7839, or simply grab your smartphone, click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That is the fast track to get on the schedule at Main Financial Group. Well, we've talked about some things that can erode your plan. When we come back, let's talk about solutions so that you can be protected and have the retirement of your dreams. Stay tuned.
Do you own an annuity? Are you aware of what type of annuity you own? For years, annuities have been the cornerstone of retirement planning. But They are not all created equal, and what worked for you yesterday may not be the best thing for you tomorrow. Your current annuity may not be serving your retirement goals. Here's the silver lining. As interest rates climb, so do the potential guarantees and benefits of many annuities. Refinancing your annuity might just be the key to a more secure and joyful retirement. Understanding your options shouldn't be a journey taken alone. Our team is here to guide you through a complimentary annuity review. Because if your annuity isn't working for you, when would you want to know? Call now for a complimentary annuity review and let us help you secure the retirement of your dreams today.
Welcome back to the Main Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Jordan Main and Adam Freund of Main Financial Group, and we're talking all about retiring with a purpose, retiring with a plan. But even if you have a plan, sometimes factors can erode that plan. This segment is all about the solutions. How can you be protected? How can you have peace of mind in retirement? And gentlemen, I know people are wondering, okay, I don't want any of those 5 factors to come my way. There's got to be solutions. The first one, Jordan, you're so passionate about this. I've got to guide this to you. Proper tax planning.
Holy moly, yes.
Talk about that. That can help stop erosion.
Do we have an hour to talk about it?
I wish we did, actually. I wish we did.
6 minutes.
So we talked about taxes, how it can just destroy your portfolio in retirement. Let's start with Roth IRAs. Convert dollars from a pre-tax tax bomb, and IOU to the IRS is your IRA. So let's convert those to a Roth IRA. We've actually got a free tool online you can use.
Yep.
If you just go to maintaxbill.com, maintaxbill.com, it's on your screen.
Yep.
You can go through and put in your own information as far as your retirement accounts, and it'll tell you what your tax bill will be if you convert to a Roth or if you don't convert. So we're going to, for the DIYers out there, we can at least give an idea. The other part of the tax planning is IRA legacy planning,
Yes.
which we can, instead of just saddling your kids with a tax bomb, the worst thing you can do to your children is to give them your retirement account. So we can show you ways to eliminate taxes out of your retirement account for your kids. So there are a lot of little things that you can do to get to a 100% tax-free retirement. Some people do, we can show you how,
Yep.
but it's going to trickle down into the other eroding factors. If you start with tax planning, you're already ahead of the game.
Yep.
I love that. And then planning for healthcare. I want to talk about that because people are probably like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get hit with a big healthcare bill, if you will. Adam, does that go into a plan overall, healthcare planning?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So we talked about the people that come in earlier, that come in and say, oh, geez, we totally forgot about healthcare. Well, then we go out, we try to figure out what kind of budget they need for that, and we plan so that that part of their income is covered. Now, the great thing about that is if we can cover it up until they turn 65, where they can go on Medicare, then all of a sudden we have extra money, extra income, surplus coming in that will help with other things in other areas. The other thing is, too, is we have lots of products. We don't like long-term care insurance, right? Just straight out insurance. But we like asset-based long-term care. And that's an entirely different, we could take another hour.
Yeah, well, it's premium-based versus asset-based. We don't like premium-based where you pay a premium like on your car insurance.
Because they can keep rising.
We like leveraging assets to protect your long-term care, and there's a lot of insurance companies that do that as well. But back to the middle part of Medicare, now you get on to Medicare and we have a surplus. Well, the reason that Medicare is so low is because you did good tax planning for the first eroding factor.
Okay.
So you've gotten rid of your taxable big income, and now you've got nice, cheap Medicare. So number one affects number two.
Man,
Most definitely.
He's just so good, isn't he?
I know. He's like brilliant. We can never just throw something at him that he doesn't know.
That's right.
Okay, so let's talk about
They're paid
managing stock market risk. Jordan, what guidance do you have for that? People that
Absolutely.
are taking too much risk in the market.
Well, exactly right. So for people that need income, we have what we call income allocation, a whole chapter in our book about that. Taking pots of money out and putting them in income-only producing vehicles. You know, things that are guaranteed like annuities and other things that spit out income every month or every year to you, right? And then on the stock market, there's ways to hedge the downside, right? So we can buy put options or we can use fixed index annuity type programs. So there are ways to protect that downside from the stock market loss standpoint.
It also gives us, though, the freedom. If we have the taxes under control, if we have the healthcare under control, and we have the stock market,
Yes, yes.
then we can actually take some chances up above, because we're not relying on that to pay for your income.
Which
That's
comes
true.
down to, we have one in inflation. I think it's the last one.
Yes.
And they're all tied together. These
They
are
are.
loading
All of
factors.
them.
So we've got our tax plan right. That's reduced or eliminated
Yep.
our excessive health care. We've leveraged some assets to cover for long-term care. We've now hedged the downside on our equities, or at least a portion of our equities for
Yes.
protection. We've gone through 1, 2, and 3. And we're cooking with gas now.
It's amazing. And then, of course, longevity. You just
Yes.
make the plan last a little bit longer so people know that they have enough money for their entire life. But the final one, hedging against inflation. What's the solution, Tyler? We only have a couple minutes left in the show, but how do you build that?
You basically have to take risk to get growth, right?
Correct.
And when
Okay.
you take risk in the stock market, you could lose at a certain point in time, right? So you need time to be able to take the risk to outpace inflation, but you've got to build in those stock market components we call equities at every phase of your retirement. We think there are 3 phases in retirement, and each phase kind of needs their own building blocks for the income for that particular period.
Yeah, we use market growth to really help cover inflation. So that's one area. We also have other things too, that if we have an income plan, we might have 3 phases to that income plan to continue to add income to cover inflation as you keep moving forward.
Excellent. So all of these things tie in beautifully, Jordan, to this, the Ripped Report. About a
Yes,
minute and a half left of the show. Let's talk about it.
Absolutely. We want to give everyone an opportunity to experience what it's like to be our client for 2 meetings out of your life. We've got several offices around Metro Detroit. Call the number, click the QR code. We'll come in and give you your own personalized written financial plan. And that's important that it's written. It's a roadmap. We
Yes.
called our RIPT report, RIPT. The first is a risk evaluation, which we just talked about. Are you taking on the right amount of risk that you want? Or maybe you're driving too slow and you need more. The I is an income plan. That was one of our eroding factors. What if we screw up and live too long? Do we have a guaranteed income plan, or is it a guess? Right? The P is the portfolio health. What are we paying in fees? How have our returns been? Let's make sure we're healthy there. And the T, we really get excited about taxation. We can show you how to completely eliminate Uncle Sam out of your retirement and have a tax-free retirement, or just reduce taxes as well if that's what you like. Get a copy of our free book. We'd love to see you at one of our offices.
Jordan, thank you so much. Adam, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, once again, it's your opportunity to get ripped. How do you do that? Call in to 888-462-7839. You're also going to receive a copy of Jordan's book, The Main Street Millionaire, when you book that consultation. Come into the office and let the gentleman get to know you one-on-one. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We look forward to seeing you back here 1 week from today on The Main Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. Take care.